Here's something that's going to sound completely backwards. The traders who make the most money care the least about making money. I know how that sounds. You're here because you want to make money trading. So am I. But stay with me for the next 15 minutes, because this one idea is going to change how you look at every single trade you take from now on. 90% of retail traders lose money. Not because they don't know what a support level is, not because they can't read a candlestick chart. Most of them can draw a trend line better than half the gurus on YouTube. They lose because of one thing, and it's not strategy. It's the moment right before they click the buy button. It's the 3 seconds after a trade goes red. It's the voice in their head that says, just one more trade to make it back. That voice is the real market, and almost nobody trades that market. They're all too busy staring at the chart. Today, we're not talking about indicators. We're not talking about Fibonacci retracements or moving average crossovers. We're talking about the mindset that separates the 1% who consistently pull money out of these markets from the 99% who consistently hand it back. And I'm going to show you exactly where that separation happens, with a story that's a lot more embarrassing than I'd like it to be. A few years back, I had what every new trader dreams about, a green month. Then another one. 3 months in a row, a count curve going up and to the right. I remember genuinely thinking, I figured this out. I've cracked the code that 90% of people never crack. Then came the 4th month. I took a trade on a breakout setup I'd used 100 times before. Clean structure, good volume, everything lined up exactly like my rules said it should. And it went against me. Fine, that happens. Losses are part of the business. But instead of taking the loss and moving on like I had the previous 90-something times, something in me changed. I remember staring at that red number and feeling this tightness in my chest, like the market owed me something, like it had personally wronged me. So I didn't exit. I moved my stop loss. Just a little. It'll come back, I told myself. The setup was too good. It didn't come back. So I did what almost every trader listening to this has done at least once. I doubled down, averaged in, told myself I was improving my entry price. What I was actually doing was trying to prove I was right, using money as the proof. By the end of that day, I had given back 3 months of gains in about 4 hours. Here's the part that still bothers me. When I went back and looked at my charts afterward, my original analysis was fine. The setup itself wasn't the problem. I was the problem. The market didn't beat me. I beat myself, and I let the market hold the weapon. That night was the first time I asked a question that actually mattered. What if the chart was never the hard part? Let me give you 3 ways to actually see this, because trading psychology sounds abstract until you connect it to something real. First, the poker table. A professional poker player doesn't get emotional when they lose a hand with pocket aces. Why? Because they know something amateurs don't. You can make the perfect decision and still lose the hand. The cards don't care how correct your math was. What the pro controls is the decision, not the outcome of any single hand. They play the same 100 hands the same disciplined way, because over 100 hands, their edge shows up. An amateur plays great for 10 hands, loses one big pot, and starts chasing, changing their whole strategy based on one result. That's not poker. That's panic wearing a poker face. And that's exactly what most traders do after 2 or 3 losing trades in a row. Second, the surgeon. Imagine a surgeon who's performed the same operation 500 times. On operation 499, something unexpected happens on the table. Does a good surgeon start improvising out of fear? No. They fall back on protocol, the exact procedure they trained for, regardless of how they feel in that moment. Feelings are not allowed to write the next move. The procedure writes the next move. Your trading plan is your protocol. The instant you let a feeling override your protocol mid-trade, you've stopped being a trader and started being a gambler in a trader's outfit. Third, and this one hits close to home, the farmer. A farmer doesn't dig up a seed every single day to check if it's growing. He plants it, waters it on schedule, and lets time and process do the work. Dig it up daily out of impatience, and you kill it before it ever had a chance. Most traders treat every single trade like they need to see the harvest today. They check the P&L every 90 seconds. They dig up the seed. Professional traders plant good setups, follow their process, and let the sample size, not any one trade, produce the harvest. Poker teaches you, judge the decision, not the outcome. The surgeon teaches you, protocol over panic. The farmer teaches you, the edge plays out over time, not in one sitting. Every single one of those lessons is about the same underlying idea, and that idea is what we need to talk about next. Here's the truth underneath all three of those metaphors, and underneath my own blown-up account. Your brain was not built for trading. It was built for survival. For most of human history, a sudden loss meant an actual threat, a predator, a famine, a genuine danger to your life. So your brain evolved to respond to loss with a massive spike in emotion, designed to make you react immediately and avoid it at all costs. That system kept your ancestors alive. That exact same system is now firing every time you see a red number on a screen. Your amygdala cannot tell the difference between "a lion is chasing me" and "my stock is down 2%. It treats both like a 5-alarm emergency. That's not a character flaw. That's biology working exactly as designed, just aimed at the wrong target. This is why smart, disciplined, successful people in every other area of their life turn into completely different humans the moment they're in a live trade. The accountant who's meticulous with every client's books will blow past his own stop-loss. The engineer who tests everything 3 times will YOLO into a position on a gut feeling. It's not an intelligence problem, it's a wiring problem. Here's the second piece of the truth, and it's the one that really changed things for me. The market doesn't reward being right. It rewards being consistent under uncertainty. Think about that poker player again. They don't need to win every hand. They need an edge that plays out over a large number of hands, executed the same disciplined way every single time, especially the times it's uncomfortable. The 1% of traders who actually make consistent money aren't more right than everyone else. Study after study on professional trading psychology shows something almost every profitable trader has in common. It's not a higher win rate, it's smaller, faster losses, and consistent process. They lose plenty. They just lose small, exit fast, and never let one trade carry emotional weight into the next one. So the real skill in trading was never chart reading. Chart reading gets you to a reasonable entry. What actually determines whether you keep your account or blow it up is whether you can execute your plan while your ancient survival brain is screaming at you to do something else. That's the deep truth. You are not trading the market. You are trading your own nervous system, and the chart is just the scoreboard. So what do you actually do with this? Here's the shift, broken into 3 things you can start using on your very next trade. Shift 1. Judge the decision, not the outcome. After every trade, stop asking, "Did I make money?" Start asking, "Did I follow my plan?" Keep a simple journal, 1 line, entry reason, and whether you followed your rules exactly. A loss where you followed your plan is a good trade with a bad outcome. A win where you broke your rules is a bad trade with a lucky outcome. Train yourself to feel proud of the first one and uneasy about the second. That single reframe, practiced honestly, will do more for your account than any new indicator ever will. Shift 2. Write your protocol before you're emotional, not during. Like that surgeon, decide your stop loss, your target, and your invalidation point before you enter, while your brain is calm and rational. Write it down. Once you're in the trade, you are not allowed to renegotiate with yourself. The plan made by calm you overrules any opinion of panicked you. If you find yourself wanting to move your stop loss, that feeling itself is information. It's usually telling you the original setup is no longer valid, not that the stop is wrong. Shift 3. Zoom out to the sample size. Stop judging your system by your last 1 or 2 trades. That's the farmer digging up the seed. Judge your edge over your last 30, 50, 100 trades. If your process is sound, individual losses are just noise inside a bigger signal. The moment you genuinely internalize this, a single red trade stops feeling like a crisis and starts feeling like Tuesday. Here's what I want you to actually do after this video. Go pull up your last 10 trades. For each one, don't look at the P&L first. Look at whether you followed your own plan. That's the real scoreboard. That's the one the 1% are actually playing. If this gave you a different way of looking at your own trading, that's exactly what this channel is here for. Subscribe, because next time we're going deeper into the exact volume-based framework I use to build the entries that this mindset protects. The chart shows you where. The mindset determines whether you survive long enough to get there. I'll see you in the next one.